Good evening, Econ class. This is week 3 of 6 weeks of the quarantine. My name's Coach Nelson. Welcome you to the channel. Um, so week 3, this is test week. So I'm excited to have you guys. This class will actually get 2 videos. Um, so I'm going to go over the test questions first. Go over it, kind of take notes and stuff. You'll see once we get into it. I'm going to discuss every question beforehand, go into deep dive into it, and then you'll give me the correct answer because I will give you the correct answer in the video. You just have to watch through it. So we'll go from there. Uh, Good luck. Keep turning in assignments. Keep working hard. This is going to increase your grade tremendously this week and week 5. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So the first question of this will be, which category of the federal government spends the most money in the federal budget? So what we go over are 2 different types of categories that the U.S. government use. And so first one is mandatory spending. And mandatory spending is spending that's required by law. So these are things such as Medicare, Social Security. Those are the 2 big ones that you'll hear most often in your life. And when you get a check, it'll be taken out of your check for these reasons. So those are the first types of it. Second one is discretionary spending, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. So to know the first question, what category of the federal government spends the most money in the federal budget? It is actually a type of mandatory spending, and the answer that I'm looking for is Medicare/Medicaid. If you put one or the other, that's fine. That would be Medicare or Medicaid. All right. Again, pause if needed. Question 2. Name the largest discretionary category. All right. So which discretionary categories are? They have to be authorized each year. So we'll talk about how they get authorized and everything, but they're always going to be argued about. And some different types of discretionary spending are the state highway systems, interstate highway systems, space like NASA, those types of programs, education. But the thing that you need to know what is the largest discretionary category, that is national defense. National defense. Question 3. What 2 branches of the government authorize discretionary spending in the federal budget? All right, so you should have learned in about 5th, 6th grade the 3 different branches of government. That is the executive branch, which consists of the president, judicial branch, which consists of all the courts, including, most importantly, the Supreme Court, and the legislative branch, which consists of Congress, which is made of both the House of Representatives and the Senate. So those 2 that authorize discretionary spending, and you'll see these 2 argue all the time. So you'll hear things called sequesters that these 2 sides won't agree on, and so the government will actually shut down for a while. The 2 branches of government that you need to know for this answer are the executive branch and the legislative branch. Question 4. Name one expenditure in national defense spending. All right. So again, national defense spending has different kinds. Again, it's a discretionary spending, but you think national defense, you should automatically think of military and stuff. So here's a few things that it might consist of, and any one of these answers is fine. Salaries of military personnel, weapons, the construction and maintenance of military bases. That's just a few of a long list of things that we would do. So one of those three would be fine. For question 4. Question 5. Name 2 areas where the local government spends money. All right, so this is going talking about state and local taxes. Um, so local government, they will spend. Local governments employ 3 times the number of workers as state governments do. Uh, so I want you to think what kind of was my local government spend on, and you need to name 2 of these 3 things: public schools, public safety, and public welfare. Again, usually when you're in class, I would ask you guys, but again, this is something new and trying to learn for you guys. So, 2 of these answers you need to know: public schools, public safety, and public welfare. Question 6. What is the largest source of revenue for both state and local governments? So here's a couple of things how the government makes money. So revenue is how you make money. So here's a couple of things that the local government and state governments do: property tax, state tax, and excise tax. Again, excise tax is what we call a sin tax, or things that get taxed because they're deemed unhealthy. Uh, Individual income tax, corporate tax, other things. But the biggest revenue for both state and local governments is intergovernmental revenue. INTERgovernmental. So intergovernmental revenue, what does that mean? So that's that money that they'll get from most likely the federal government. So they'll get money for schools, money for roads, stuff like that they actually receive from the government, from the federal government, to keep society going. Question 7. What are the 2 duties of a central bank? All right, to answer this, we have to understand what a central bank is. The central bank is the national bank of the country that you're in. So let's just take USA. Our central bank is called the Federal Reserve. And we'll go into that later on in week 5. But the 2 duties that you need to know, 2 of the 3 duties that you need to know a central bank does, is hold reserve, they assure stability, and they lend money. And we'll dive deeper into week 5 what central banks really do. In question 8, what act ensures factories to reduce sulfur dioxide emissions? What act enforces factories to reduce sulfur dioxide emissions? So I believe this was written in the 70s. I can't find it in the book right now, but when the EPA was coming out, we started the EPA, Clean Air, and this act was part of what came out of the EPA. And 70s were really conscious about the earth and everything at that time. And the act that you need to know is the Clean Air Act. That is the Clean Air Act. Well, I hope this was fun. I hope this was informative. As quick 10 minutes, And again, we don't get to go have the normal feedback that me and you we would have in the classroom, but I think this would do fine. If you guys got questions, let me know. Email me. You guys know my email. So I'll send this out. Hopefully, it gets posted tonight. If not, it'll be posted in the morning. My internet's on the fritz every so often. So, all right. Until next time, stay home, stay safe. Good night, guys.